Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another fantastic Monday. Aren't you lucky? Today, we're going to continue on with the artist theme and we're going to build out the contact section. This is so exciting because it's the second to the last section that we're going to be building, and then it's done. We'll be done. We did something big and awesome and cool and wow. Let's not get too excited. Let's just start. This is the section that we'll be building today. It's called the contact section, and it is awesome. And we're going to be using some what is it called, web fonts for these icons here, and then just like a big fat link. And it's going to be really easy. So hopefully this won't be a long video, and then you can go about your day feeling like you accomplished something. Okay, so last time we left off, we did this clients section here, and now we want to do a contact section. All right, we're going to create a new section, duplicate, and then I'll rename it to contact. And then I'm basically going to get rid of kind of all of it. And rename it back to section contact. And then this will be contact. And this will be ID contact. Awesome. Okay, now let's get into the meat of the project. All right, now that we've set up the page, we need to include it into our index. And we do that by using the liquid template tag called include, and we include contact. And I'll just refresh right here, and there it is. There's the contact section. Okay, now that we've set up the area to work in, we're going to work inside of it, and remember how we do. We just start describing things, okay? So I'm going to look at, I'm going to bring my Photoshop file. Now I have my Photoshop file here on the right, and I have my code here on the left, and we're just going to start describing things, okay? So the first thing I see, I'm going to call div class the social links. And inside of the social links, I'm just going to have a series of anchor tags. And inside those anchor tags, I want to link to all my various social networks, social accounts and things like that. Now you can have as many as you like right here. I'm going to make about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what I have in the design. And let me show you how I'm going to get these icons. It's probably the coolest thing you'll see all day. I'm going to go over to a website called icomoon.io, and I'm going to use the icomoon app. Now, icomoon's purpose is to allow us to use like these icons, these web font icons in our projects for free. It's really great. They do get they charge money if you want them to host your icons, but we're just going to host it locally. It's no problem. So this is a free service. And what's cool about that is they allow you to pick and choose which ones you want to use and which ones you don't want to use. So the ones that I want to use are just the social media icons, just these guys right here, nothing special. And I know that these are contained, there's a whole bunch of different libraries to choose from as well. I know that these are all contained in Font Awesome. So I'm just going to add Font Awesome to, just see what happened there. Font Awesome got added to this list of things to kind of select your icons from. So I'm going to come in here, turn it up to like 42 so I can see things. And I'm gonna find the icons that I want to include in my font, and I'm gonna leave out the ones I don't. So I have my selector here, selection tool kind of selected right there, and I'm gonna go hunting. The YouTube, Octocat, that's good. On my Instagram, on my Dribble, Behance, and I also want the Twitter bird. There it is. Knew it was here somewhere. I'll also grab a few others just to kind of have in the back pocket in case any of you guys want to have different kinds than I'm putting up. I saw Facebook here, Vine, or SoundCloud. Okay, you guys can come back and add whatever you like as you see fit, but I've got like a few here for me. So now from here, I'm going to click on this button down here called Font. And what it does is kind of generate a preview of the ones that I have chosen. So I have SoundCloud, Vine, Behance, Dribbble, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google+, GitHub, Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter. So it's 12 in total. And I want to go to the preferences here. Now I could download this as a font, but what I want to do is click this option here called encode and embed in fonts in CSS. So this is not going to give us a WAF or a true type, a TTF file. It's going to give us like a base 64 embedded into our actual CSS. It's a little easier for us to use. We don't have to like, you know, track things down. And also it saves us on those really important HTTP requests. So your CSS is not going out and contacting another resource and pulling it in before it can render stuff. It's all in line in the CSS, and it's just kind of, you know, universal. It'll work on all the browsers. So it's a really good option. We switched over at work to doing it. I'm doing it on my personal website for a long time, and now I'm going to teach you guys how to encode and embed your font in your CSS. Okay, so that's the option we want. You can just click X right here and then download. So your download comes with a few files in it. And what we want is this file right here, this style file. And we can basically just plop that into our CSS tools right there. Now we have style.css. I want to rename that file to icons, icon font .scss. Now it's a Sass file all of a sudden. Now this right here, you see all this kind of nonsense it looks like? This is the code, the base 64 code that is actually the font itself, right? So it's not calling the font on a server somewhere. This is the font embedded into our file. And we see down here how we use it. If we put a class of icon-Twitter on something, then it will render the icon of the Twitter logo inside of whatever we put that icon on. And I'll show you how that works right now. So iconfont.sass is saved up in our tools section. I'm going to go to our tools directory and import that file. Call it icon-font, save. Oh, I want to put a underscore in front of the name. There we go. Okay, to make this work, I'll have to go down here to the anchor tag that I want it to actually be the link, and I'm going to put class icon-Twitter. All right, now let's refresh it on our project, and we'll see if that little logo, there it is. There's that little logo. Cool. And we have 5 of these. Okay. Now let's refresh our project and see all our little line of icons. There they are. Fantastic. And now we just need to style them like you would normally do. Now to do that, I want to set up our new section in our style sheets. Go to sections and create a new file, and I'm going to call that underscore contact.sass. And then we go in the sections directory and add a line for contact. All right, and I'm going to open contact, and here we are. The thing was called social links, this little wrapper. I'm going to call it social links. Social links, and I want to make the width of it, the max width of it actually, because I want it to be able to shrink. Max width of it is going to be 700 pixels, not negative 700, it's just 700. And the margin is going to be 0 at the top, left and right is going to be auto, and I want the bottom to be about 50 because I know what the next thing is going to be. So there's that. And then I also want the display of it to be display. I want it to be flex as well, so that the things in it will be like spaced evenly and kind of line up nice, no matter how many you put in there. If you want 5 like I have, or if you have like a lot more in mind. Display flex, and then justify content is going to be space around. Okay, and then let's do the little links inside. Social links A, you're going to be display block. And the background is going to be the accent color. We want the size to be a certain size, and let's see what I had planned out here. 50 pixels, these reach 50 pixels. I want the size to be 50 pixels. I want the text align, so within that 50 pixel box, I want our icons to be centered in the middle, and then I also, to center them in the height, I want the line height to be the exact same height as our height. Oops, which is 50 pixels. And then we can make the color of the icons, because they're a font, I can just name the font color, and that will be the color of the icons. The color will be white. And that looks good. Let's refresh and see what we got. Bing! Oh, okay, that's fantastic. We need to round those out with a border radius of 50%. And the font size will be, let's think about what I want the hover look like. What do I want the hover to look like? Let's say ampersand hover. I just want it to jump out a little bit, like whoop. So I'll do a transform scale 1.2, I don't know, and we want to put the animation here by just doing transition, and then refresh. Oh, that's kind of nice. Yeah, that's good. It's good. All right, how does that look? Does that look good? That looks pretty good. Next we have this bar and then a big contact email right at the bottom, which will do like this. Div section, let's call that a BR, class bar. And then we have a new link, a class big link. And all right, now for this big link, you want to fill it in with whatever email you want people to contact you at. In this case, it'll be the artist@gmail.com. And the link will be mail to : and then the email address. All right. Okay. First thing we want to do is find that bar. And let's say its width is going to be 250 pixels wide. Its height is going to be 0 pixels. Its margin top is going to be 4 pixels, solid, and the color is going to be accent. We also want it to be, oh, margin. This is margin top. I meant border. Margin is going to be 0, auto, and then 50, I think. Oh, not 500, 50. Let's see what we got right there. Bar. Break. Oh, that's a break. I meant to put an HR for horizontal rule, not a BR for break. And there you go. There's that bar. Looks good. Now for the, what's this called? Big link. We're going to do a text align center. And now that will only work if it's a, if the display type is display block. And yeah, the font size is going to be 72 pixels, pretty big. See how that works. Ooh, looks good. And we want the font weight to be 300. Let's check that out. Looks pretty good, except for because it's block, it has like all of this is active area. Let's say this. Let's call it display inline block. And then take this text align center and put it on its parent, which in this case is, what is it called? Section contact. So that way we don't have to do this. Everything should be text align center anyway. All right, now we don't have to that active area on the side, but when you hover over it, we do. That's great. Okay, this is a little unnerving. Oh, I want to put the line height 1. Tighten that a bit. All right, this margin here is just too much. Margin bottom is 70 for that guy. Okay. And I think that concludes this section. Contact or email. Yeah, looks good. I'm into it. Now that we've got the style set for everything, we're going to templatize this section so that the content can be controlled through the settings folder to make it easier for the people who are using this theme later on. So the first thing we'll do is go into our settings.yaml, and I'm actually just going to copy this first section again and start down here. So I'm going to say this group is called social. This is going to be the contact section. And the icon is all we need right here. And the first one is going to be, actually I'm going to list out all of them that we have. So a note here, and I'll say can be Twitter. And I'll just kind of note out the ones, the options of the icons that I have loaded in. I think that's it, right? Okay, so now that we know which ones we have available, let's talk about how we're going to set this template up. Okay, the icon, this is going to be the one that's replicated, I think, what, 5 times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The icon that I have set up is going to be Twitter, and then it's going to be Dribble, then it'll be Behance, then it'll be YouTube, and then it will be LinkedIn. But you can use any of these keywords to create the icon, and then you want to link these through. So this will be, what is it? HTTP Twitter /twitter.com/devtips show. Presto, they're done now. Now to bring all of those data outside of the settings and into our template, we're going to narrow these links down to one link that's going to be repeatable. And it's going to be, I'm going to do it like this. For links, for link in, and we're going to think about where those variables are set up. Now they're in the global keyword of site, and then data, and then settings, file, and then in the group of, was it social, right? Right there, social. Okay, so for every link in site, data, settings, social, and then we want to close our for loop right here, and for, do one of these, and then we'll print out the variables here. Icon, right? Is it icon? I have a short memory. Icon and link. Oops, this needs to be link. And then I'll copy that. And it's going to be right here, icon dash icon. So what it's going to print out is icon dash, for example, if they chose Twitter, it'll be icon dash Twitter, right? So save, and let's print that out, refresh, and there should be no visible change other than it's rendered dynamically from the settings menu. Now somebody who's using this template later on can come into the settings page and render these out, right? And one more email. That's what we want. So that's going to be right here. Oops. In site data settings email copy, and then a mail to will be the same right there. Refresh. I'm getting an error build the whole time. Oh no. Oh, okay, so it's link and link dot icon. Refresh. There we go. So here we go. Sorry I got those all wrong. Fixed it though. So that's what it looks like if you add Facebook on the end, and there we are. So cool. You can add these in. Let's stretch this down to see how this works out in mobile. That's okay, but I also want to put, I'll say flex wrap social links margin 20 pixels. There we go. That's going to be a bit better, I guess. That'll have to do. Cool. That's it. I'm going to remove all these Facebooks from our settings. I would keep it around 5 if you can. It looks best that way. The contact section is officially done. So we learned how to get web fonts kind of like narrowed down into just the fonts we need. We don't want to have the whole font that, full of unnecessary characters that we're not going to be using. And we also learned how to, I guess that's the biggest thing for the section, the contact section. And then in the next section, next week, or whenever this next video comes out, we're going to do the contact form, which is also super exciting. Okay, so until then, keep it real, keep it crispy, and keep hacking. Bye, guys.